Jefferson, a healthy group. Can't forget about Allen Anderson on the perimeter as well for the Triplets, who've lost just one game in their franchise history. As for the three-headed monsters, well, it's been a group effort here in 2021. The big guys, Reggie Evans, the shooters, Kevin Murphy, they've really been a key for Gary Payton and the three-headed monsters.
And especially in the last two games, you know, Reggie Evans is averaging 16 points a game and 15 rebounds. And then you throw in Kevin Murphy's scoring prowess, you know, fourth in the big three in scoring this year at 20 points a game. Nice 1-2 punch with a big guy and a guard with the inside-outside threat.
Gary Payton just came over, banging the table, saying, hey, give me a little fist bump here, Avery Johnson. You remember the glove back in his days, nine-time NBA All-Star in his fourth year, leading the three-headed monsters. And from broadcaster to coach, all in one day. Lisa Leslie on the sideline for the Triplets in her second year as head coach. Let's take a look at the key rules that make the Big Three the top professional 3-on-3 league in the world. First to 50 wins. Halftime is when a team reaches 25 points. No game clock. Free throws fouled on a 2-point shot comes from the foul line, the 3-point line, and out to the 4-point circle if fouled there. And the 4-point shot, unique to the Big Three, 3 circles, 30 feet away. You knock one down from there, it's worth 4 points.
And you know what I love, Ed? There's really no wasted possessions in the sense of the Big Three. And it's not like you can sub in, you know, bench warmers at hand. No, you got to get to 50 points as fast as you can.
Did you just coin the name of the 13th team in the future in the Big Three? The bench warmers? He's out of something. These two teams, Avery, if we're to go back 2 years ago, August of 2019 was a thrilling finish. ISO Joe with a step back, fade away, 4-point shot for the win here in Milwaukee. Three-headed monsters, remember that, and now taking aim at ISO Joe once again.
Yeah, ISO Joe, you know, he's the type of guy that you lose sleep over the night before the game. You're not normally getting your 8 hours of sleep. It's probably down to 3 for Coach Gary Payton. Because what do you do against ISO Joe? Where do you bring the help? Yeah. And Pargo, you know, he can get it going from behind the 3-point line. He stars in his role.
So for the Triplets in the dark blue, you have Johnson, Pargo, and now Jefferson. For the three-headed monsters, Reggie Evans with Rashard Lewis, Kevin Murphy. Jefferson, after the ball missed the rim, was stripped. It's going to stay with the Triplets.
I had a chance to visit with Al Jefferson after our last Big Three games in Dallas, and he talked a lot about playing against Reggie Evans and how the game is not physical. It's who's going to break down psychologically. Can you deal with the constant onslaught of Reggie Evans' elbow, bumps, all the little veteran moves?
He's coming off a big game. Evans with 20 and 17 rebounds last week as Pargo gets the Triplets on the board with the 3. Reggie Evans, 2 straight double-doubles. But then you have the matchup problem in Al Jefferson. Should be a great one. Here they go. Evans takes it off the dribble, bumps, they let it go, and he puts it in with 2 hands.
And that's how Reggie's really improved over the years in his career, is being able to take the ball and off the dribble and make plays. He's not just a rebounder anymore.
Joe Johnson missing off the back down. Evans, quick pass to Murphy. Look at the jockeying for the rebound. I mean, jerseys being pulled between Johnson and Lewis, and ISO Joe is called for the foul, and Gary Payton loves that.
He loves that. And now this is one of the rare games where ISO Joe is starting off against a guy like Rashard Lewis. You know, so you look at Joe and he's listed at 6'7", and Rashard Lewis, you know, 6'10". So this is one of the few times where ISO Joe is kind of undersized a little bit, giving up some size against Rashard Lewis.
Iso Joe's first points. Timeout here with the three-headed monsters down 3 early on. Triplets lost just 1 game last year, unbeaten in 2021. Avery, they're 4-0. The three-headed monsters right behind them. If the three-headed monsters were to win here today, we're talking about a move into first place with the tiebreak.
Yeah, but Joe Johnson's going to have a lot to say about that. This is the most complete player in the big three, the most complete team. And when you look at Joe Johnson's career profile, just 17 years in the NBA, 7-time NBA All-Star. I've been sitting opposite Joe Johnson, especially coaching, trying to figure out what do you do with him. Which do you send him left? Do you send him right? If he gets in an ISO situation, do you trap him immediately? Or force him to be a pass?
Good D, yo. We playing good D.
Now it's Gary Payton's problem. He's not working here on Triplets and Fight TV. Working the games. You let Gary Payton try to figure that out.
You're just the guy. You wear the suit, but it doesn't have to be on the bench for now. He scored over 20,000 points in the NBA over 17 years. Didn't have the glove to deal with all that much. Murphy heard some ball there from Pargo, but a foul. And Kevin Murphy getting a 2-point shot.
And Gary Payton was animated a little bit early in the game here, similar to Charles Oakley. So he's sending a message to his team. Went to one of their go-to plays, post up Murphy on the left box. And he basically semi-threatened Murphy. He said, do not shoot a bailout shot. Get me something good.
Here's the reward. Kevin Murphy has been solid from the outset of this season. 4th in the big three in scoring, coming in with 20 per game. 5-4 Triplets, early lead in Milwaukee. And pass getting away from Iso Joe. He's going to stay with the Triplets. Ball was deflected.
Yeah, Joe, they were trying to establish Joe inside, and it just hasn't happened going against Murphy and Rashard Lewis.
Turnover last time. Murphy, 3, no. Off the ball, Jefferson steamrolling Reggie Evans.
That's like Mortal Kombat inside those two big guys. Watch this. Here comes Reggie. Al's holding him. Reggie's hooking. 2 veteran guys who've played a lot of basketball against each other over the years. But believe me, Al Jefferson's not going to back down.
No. 6'10", veteran of 14 NBA seasons. Murphy, couple of inches on Pargo, able to get the steal. Pargo step back, 3-pointer, rimmed out. Evans.
Big roll, big roll.
Against Jefferson, takes him off the dribble. Doubles, good help. Evans gets the finish. Gets it away from Pargo for 2.
So it seems like the strategy for the three-headed monsters are they want to try to attack Big Al off the dribble, or they want to force him to play in pick and rolls as a defender defending the screen.
Gonna double Johnson. Pargo, open look. Jefferson, a little subway push. Pargo, 0 for 2 on that trip. 3rd chance. The cut from Iso Joe.
But that's a win. That's a win for the three-headed monsters because unlike some of the other games we've seen earlier today, they're forcing Joe Johnson to be a passer. Now, he scored on an offensive rebound, but they're forcing him their base offensive set. They want him to pass the basketball.
What a cut and a foul. Lewis to Murphy. And the three-headed monsters, every back and forth start. An 8-7 lead.
Nice pass by Rashard Lewis. Not quite the flash of Leandro Barbosa in the last game with the behind-the-back pass in the same situation. But he executed a fundamentally sound play.
Pargo attacking, crossover, step back 2. Pargo drills it. Gennaro Pargo showing what he delivered over 11 NBA seasons.
Extremely good defense by Rashard Lewis, but even better offense.
How about 6 lead changes right off the bat? Murphy, the lane party, Kevin Murphy cruising in for 2. Native of Atlanta, Georgia. three-headed monsters, 1-point lead. And Lewis got beat and fouls Joe Johnson. Let's go back to Pargo.
Pargo kind of went in his bag, a little step back. That's how he loves to get his shot off. The step back to the left, create a little separation, especially from a taller defender. You only need an open window, just a crack.
Lewis staying in front of Joe Johnson, gets doubled. Reversal to Pargo, too much.
We've seen more double teams by the three-headed monsters in this game than we've seen basically in any of our first 4 games today.
Steps on Evans. You know, when you think about how to defend Joe Johnson, you've talked about it a few times, but you start to take things away now. It's week 5. Just trying to stop this guy. Take a look at what Gary Payton's team's done so far. Lewis. Johnson spins, still has his dribble. 3 to shoot. And he's going to the line for a 2-point shot, just riding it over the course of the entire possession.
Yeah, Rashard Lewis, he was looking at the referee like that was some home cooking on that call.
Avery, you're looking at the reigning MVP, 4-time player of the week, and it's year 4 of the Big Three over 5 years, season 4, as he misses the 2-point shot. And you have a player for everyone to shoot for, arguably the best in league history, really bar none, is Joe Johnson at the age of 40.
Yep. I guess Joe Johnson is the new 40 because he looks like 20s.
ISO Joe, 7-time NBA All-Star. Gets Triplets down 10-9. Each week, fans can help select the Microsoft Big 3 Player of the Week. You can go online to Big3.com or Big 3 social media accounts to vote. We'll reveal the results from week 5 on Saturday. The Big 3 is down in Chicago. And we know who's 4 for 4 in the voting. We'll see if he gets to a point where he is one of the top nominees for week 5.
Yeah, ISO Joe. He's
Ball go
playing
back to
competition.
Don't worry about it.
Yep.
I got you.
You know, we still have another game to go, but
Yeah, man, we got to stop it.
he's already good. I thought maybe
You
this year we're
You
still
got to
his
look,
workout
and you hear
performance
us
could
at
have
4
been
seconds. Cardinals will have the ball, or you have no rebound. You ain't
for you
gonna
to be
pass
playing
it.
week, you gotta do something really special.
A reputation goes a long way. So do championships. And from the Milwaukee Bucks, Pat Connaughton in the house just weeks after winning Game 6 in this building, giving the Milwaukee Bucks their first title in 50 years. And you can just feel the energy still here in the city.
Yeah, and congratulations to Pat and Giannis, the Greek Freak, Mike Budenholzer, who was our video coordinator back in the early 90s to mid-90s when I played for the Spurs, and Mark Lazary, one of the owners for the Milwaukee Bucks, who was with the ownership group with the Nets when I coached the Nets.
Argo can't connect on the 3. A lot of people came out of that Spurs video, didn't they? ISO Joe. Lewis bites. Johnson getting a 2-point shot. That is really a battle right now.
But see, in this situation, could have easily been a 3-second call on Joe Johnson. He was in the lane for about 5 seconds. And I don't think anybody in the country can guard Joe Johnson when he's backing in if he's going to be allowed to have the ball for 5 seconds in the lane.
The Johnson rules. 2021 version. For the three-headed monsters, Mamadou Ndiaye comes on. Rashard Lewis gets a breather. Remember, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf still on the bench for the three-headed monsters. That was the 3rd foul on Rashard Lewis at 10-9 in the first half. He has to sit the remainder of this first half. And you think that that guy has sucked all the energy out of his defensive performance?
Yeah, that's what happens when ISO Joe gets 20 dribbles without any help.
2-point shot, and the Triplets The 8th lead change of this first half. Now up 11-10.
And now, the three-headed monsters, they've gotten even bigger.
Murphy won't go. Big rebound from Njai. Murphy, second effort, it goes. 12-11 three-headed monsters in a battle of heavyweights. Taking punches in the midsection. Close one. 5th game of the day in Milwaukee. Get away with it.
And talking trash.
All those years with Seattle, he was traded to the Bucks in 2003 at the deadline. A deal that included Ray Allen going to Seattle. Here in Milwaukee now, three-headed monsters in a real fight. They lead the Triplets 12-11. Njai posting up on Jefferson.
Now it's going to be hard for Njai to score this ball against Jefferson. He's too far away from the basket.
Gary Payton thought there was contact, but it came after the shot clock expired.
Yeah, Reggie Evans had him early with a deep seal and missed him. And then when he got out of the lane, he's going to have a hard time backing in Al Jefferson. He's not strong enough. You know, he's obviously 7'3", but Al is just too strong for him. His lower body strength is too much.
For the Triplets, ISO Joe with Al Jefferson and Allen Anderson. Low by and a kick out. Jefferson, mid-range. Anderson, the rebound. Reverse land, missed it. I mean, this has been the story of the first half. Neither team is giving an inch. Two of the higher scoring teams in the league.
Yeah, and it's all those little things, the small, minute details.
ISO Joe. Njai fighting with Jefferson. And Al Jefferson called for the foul, and Avery, he does not like it.
Yep, he doesn't like it, but doesn't it seem a little bit, Ed, like Joe Johnson is not really in a good rhythm. And the Triplets have suffered a little bit because of it, even though they're only down by 1 point.
Right.
So 2 fouls on Jefferson. He's going to sit. That's number 5. The Triplets.
You always wonder if Coach Payton should have substituted Lewis out when he had 2 fouls just to give him a breather, because, you know, Lewis sitting on the bench for the rest of the half, that's a huge loss for the three-headed monsters.
Right now, you have Mamadou Njai, 7'6", along with Reggie Evans and Kevin Murphy, so a ton of length. Mahmoud is still available. Jamario Moon coming in for Jefferson. Njai, air ball, Anderson can't finish it. My goodness, Avery, off the ball. Evans, Joe Johnson, they bumped again after the whistle. This is physical, a game we've seen in the Big Three this season.
Yep, Reggie was trying to establish himself low with this post-up on Joe Johnson, trying to get into his legs, wearing him down, and got called for the foul.
Has a fight night feel here on Fight and Triller.
It really does. Yeah, we need to put a boxing ring around this court. I mean boxing, not the other sport.
I'm saying it says ISO Joe.
Yeah.
For those who played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out back in the day, there was Flash Joe. ISO Joe. Looked like he had an open layup. Anderson, the fall away. Can't cash in. Murphy into traffic. Murphy with the runner against Jamario Moon. They're going to wave it off.
Yeah, because it's called off. Mamadou, he didn't get out the lane. Njai, he didn't get out. So, good call by the referees. Could have been an offensive foul, loose ball foul on Reggie Evans also. He got away with one.
Every one of the subtle rules that you, as a player, sometimes forget is the lane must be cleared every time you clear the ball.
Yep, got to be alert. Even if you don't have the ball, that's your role in that situation. Clear the lane.
See if Joe Johnson can get cooking. He has 6 points. Evans staying in front of him. The fall away. Ice and Joe wins the battle. And again, another lead change. Triplets by 1.
Give Reggie Evans credit. He wants to take that challenge. He's playing Joe. He's talking. He's in the defensive stands. But Joe raised up, faded away, and there was nothing Reggie could do. So here it is. He shakes behind the back. Reggie thinks he's going to go left, and here's a little hezzy and pull-up jump.
This ball foul. Gary Payton exploding up off the bench. It's on Njai. There have been 8 lead changes, a ton of whistles. Both teams are well into the penalty. You like a good old-fashioned 90s style big 3 game between 2 of the top teams in week number 5.
Well, let's take it back. Let's take it back before the 90s, to 1989. 80, the Pistons.
I don't get John Sally in on this one.
Oh yeah, he gets excited when you start talking about that. You can just see his face start turning, and you say bad boys, or you see Isaiah Thomas, or Dennis Rodman, and he starts to get a little weird.
Starts sweating back.
I think he wants to run in the locker put a uniform on.
No, I don't get weird. I just remember, you know, what it's like to be number 1. You know it.
From a man who's lived it. Alan Anderson hits a 3. Oh, we got Rick Mahorn coming up next. John, is that where you are right now, hanging with Rick?
Oh, no, I learned not to hang with Rick.
7-0 run for the Triplets. 6-point lead. A little separation here. Njai. Anderson, that's his spot. Rainmaking 3 is good.
And even more impressive with that 3-point shot. Not over a 7-3, guy, as we said earlier, but a 7-6.
A 10-0 run for the Triplets. Just needed a couple of shots to go down. The rhythm is back. Evans. Spin on ISO Joe. Ducks in.
Very nice defense by Joe. He knows Evans is a pump fake guy when he drives to the basket.
Anderson. Oh, fake. Flips it up. And he scores. Excellent
Drive and finish. I was going to question this move by Anderson because he had his teammate Moon open in the corner. Normally, you know, it's a drive and pitch or driving kick situation, but he is one of those situations where Lisa Leslie's saying, pass the ball, and then once it goes in after he gets fouled for traditional 3-point play, she's saying, way to go.
No, no, no. Check.
She was thinking, I'm going to take you out of the game for that bad play, and then when the shot goes in, you could stay.
You know, they feel major league in Milwaukee. Nice catch, Hayes. Don't ever do it again. All right, next point for the Triplets gets us to the break. ISO Joe can't hit it over Murphy. Anderson comes back into the play. Joe Johnson for halftime. Got it. Triplets with a burst to finish the first half. 27-12 lead against the three-headed monsters here in Milwaukee. A 16-0 run.
But it's all about the hustle. Alan Anderson made that entire play. Loose ball, hustle, pass, and he knows who to pass the ball to. He didn't pass it to us.
No. The other Johnson, Joe Johnson, the 4-time player of the week. And the Triplets showing why they're the top team in the Big 3. Halftime in Milwaukee on Triller and Frank. With Alan Anderson, John.
Yes, I just told Alan that Avery was giving him all the props. He said you're his guy. You guys started off slow and you came in and added some energy. Well, that's what you're supposed to do when you know,
got to roll. Make sure you ignite it. Make sure you see whatever you're lacking on and be ready to bring it.
Now, these guys look like they're double teaming Joe, so that means there's more open shots for you.
I mean, that's tough to double team somebody when you got other shooters out here. So we hope they keep double teaming so we can keep getting wide open layups.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, we got guys here.
Al Anderson's a guy who, Avery, when he gets an open look, is as dangerous a shooter as there is in the Big Three.
Yeah, they've made 4 3-pointers, the triplets. And the three-headed monsters, they're 0 for 5 from behind the three-point line. But I want to go back to something that we talked about earlier. Rashard Lewis getting 3 fouls early in the game, first quarter. He's got to sit the rest of the half. And look at the run that the Triplets went on with Rashard Lewis on the bench.
Looking at a former MVP back in 2017, the Big Three. Led them in scoring 2 years ago. Now, we didn't see Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf in the first half. Gary Payton making a change here, brings him on to start the second. Lewis rolls, finishes over Al Jefferson, so maybe that's the start as they try and get back in the game.
Yes, and you know, Kevin Murphy is 0 for 4 from the three-point line, and they rely on his three-point shooting. They didn't have Rashard Lewis's ability to knock down shots because of foul trouble.
Joe Johnson, first look after the break. He's got 16 points.
And see, that's the dangerous part about all of this. Joe was a little lethargic to start the game. Now he's up.
Scary thought. Reggie Evans. Look at that rebound. I think this guy wants it. Corner three. Nearly got the bounce.
And now he's got a mismatch.
Smart. Fargo. Rebound, Joe.
Nice pass.
Jefferson there to finish it.
And we got to get a shot sometime of the Triplets bench. When they're shooting a wide open shot, Moon and Anderson, you should see how animated they are on the bench and supporting their teammates. This team is just so in sync and connected. Fantastic chemistry.
We're going to effort to get it going. Jefferson thought he was fouled, way off the mark, and he's been teed up. Give Evans the bucket, and now the technical on Al Jefferson of the Triplets. And there's the group.
Yeah, Big Al, but the group is not happy with that situation. But Big Al thought he was fouled. Maybe Reggie got away with one there. But, you know, Lisa Leslie's out on the court supporting him.
Mahmoud, ball in the hands, calmly sinks the two-point shot that you get for a technical.
Yeah, and the three-headed monsters, Coach Gary Payton, they need a boost right now. And how about our guy Gary Payton deciding to go coach college basketball?
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty cool story.
Division II Lincoln University, Oakland, California.
How fortunate they are.
Huge.
To have the glove.
Two-time Olympic gold. Naismith Hall of Famer 2013. And leading the three-headed monsters for a 4th straight season. Joe Johnson, fadeaway three. Didn't even put it on the deck. Just great footwork and patience.
Nice job by Abdul-Rauf to box out Fargo. He can go up with it.
They were screaming at him. Evans must clear it now, and he does. Triplets 32, three-headed monsters 18. Evans runner, popped out. ISO Joe at 16 already. Deep 4-point shot.
You can live with that shot if you Joe, but now, since they're in foul trouble or Kevin Murphy's on the bench, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf is in, you might want to try to force him to switch to create a little bit of a mismatch, especially with Joe Johnson.
So Mahmoud stays in, Mamadou and Jai in as well. And Lewis for the three-headed monsters. Mahmoud the rebound, Right spot, right time. This has become a really nice role for Mahmoud Abdur-Rauf coming off the bench to begin the half.
Yeah, we'll see if that technical foul on the triplets, if that's going to lead to some sort of a change in momentum for the three-headed monsters.
They've got a 6-0 run. Gennaro Pargo. Between the legs, Jefferson. ISO Joe bobbles, Lewis flies by, and Johnson beats the clock as the triplets, little trickery there on that trip.
Yeah, good hustle by Rashard Lewis, but give Al Jefferson credit. You know, played pick and roll with Fargo. He's got the ball in the pocket, and then he kicked it out to Joe Johnson. And Joe went to work, didn't take a contested three-point shot, attacked that hard closeout by Rashard Lewis, got inside the defense, and mid-range is still important, ladies and gentlemen, independent of what the analytics say.
In that kind of game, got to find the squeegee spots.
Yeah, the ball boys may ask for a raise after this game.
They should. We've got the evidence. Working hard. Offensive on the screen, Mamadou Ndiaye. Off the screen, 7'6". He's 27 from Senegal. Played at UC Irvine with the Anteaters.
I used to coach a player from Senegal, Sagana Jacques. I visited Senegal before.
Wow. To put in perspective for those who've never been, I mean, so many players in recent years have come from Senegal. I'm going to wave this shot off traveling on Al Jefferson and the NBA with academies down there. There's been a pipeline that has started within the last couple of decades. And Jacques, from what I remember, was at Oak Hill like 20 years ago.
Right. And you look at what we're doing here in the Big Three. We're becoming more of an international league.
Yep. Mahmoud shakes free, hits it. Beginning the second half on the floor, and now it's 6 for the three-headed monsters. 34-22 triplets.
Are you quietly trying to promote in the future Big Three Africa or Big Three Europe? What are you doing? You talking to these people about, you want to let us in on something?
That'd be big. As Pargo hits a three, well, they're going to Bahamas. They will go Cape Town somewhere, some way. But Avery triplets, the three-point shot been a big boost so far.
Yeah, and especially when Pargo gets his left. Not much real estate left in the left-handed corner, but tough shot from an undersized guard.
Hey, good call. That's a good call.
Right to it, right to it.
Yo, foul first. Foul first. Still. Arms on 2 hands. Right out.
Hey, that one right there was not a good one.
No, Lee.
That one was not a good one.
Didn't like it, Coach.
Hey, there's some good, some bad. But I agree with Pargo. Hey, I'm going to always agree with the undersized guy. And, you know, I'm 5'10". Pargo's what, is he 5'11"?
6 foot
Oh, he's 6 foot.
on the Big Three roster.
He's on the Big Three. It's okay.
Gennaro Pargo actually an assistant last 2 years with the Portland Trail Blazers, fighting for the rebound. Head coach Avery Johnson, John Spider Sally, our entire Triller Fight TV crew in Milwaukee. Alan Anderson twisting. You're a short jumper.
And let's go back to his comments at halftime. He said when you come off the bench, you have to be ready to go. You don't have time to warm up. And that's a good message for players, especially on the collegiate level, high school. There's no excuses about I'm cold. My first year in the league in 1988, I'll never forget, Bernie Bickerstaff put me in the game with 42 seconds to go at Sacramento.
Wow.
That was my first game that I ever played again in the NBA. And guess what? I believe, and you may be able to find the video or stat sheets, if I didn't have 4 points, I know I had 2. I scored that game because it wasn't about, oh, coach put me in with 40 seconds. No, when you get in the game, you got to be ready to go when you're a reserve. And that's what I love about what Alan Anderson talked about at halftime.
You're telling me that you don't have the VHS ready in Dallas at home? You can't just pop it in? It's not available?
No, it's not. I'm a little bit more technologically savvy.
There you go. You transferred it. You digitized it.
Yes.
Triplets, moments ago, leading by 17. That was their largest lead. Pargo has the launch. Great D. Mahmoud Al-Dura. Oh, if he looked like the glove there.
Hey, he looked like the glove. Outstanding defense by Mahmoud. He didn't go for any of the herky-jerky ball handling ways that Pargo likes to create separation.
Loose ball foul. He'll get Moon, who had the inside position against Reggie Evans. I said, Joe, little, come on. Joe Johnson on the bench. The triplets ride Pargo, Moon, and Anderson against Evans, Murphy, and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Three-headed monsters.
The three-headed monsters are going to make a move. You got to do it with Joe Johnson on it.
Yeah.
And in this situation, the worst thing you can do is turn the ball over and have empty possession.
The critical junction you spoke about was Lewis in the first half, picking up his third foul. As Murphy slamming down on the ball against Anderson. Gary Payton emphatically slams the red button. He wants to bring the fire. Zero hesitation.
I'm just glad Gary didn't injure his hand.
Taco Bell, bring the fire. The glove edition. And you know what? There wasn't even a foul. He looked good in theory. Miles pops out, he's open. Hits the three. Mario Moon for the triplets.
And we'll say it over and over and over again. This is why the triplets made the trade last year for Mario Moon.
Yep.
Defense, pick and pop ability.
How about Murphy with the answer, the four-point shot. But to your point, the championship runs, sometimes you need that mid-season move. Triplets picked up Moon from the Ghost Ballers for Chris Johnson. Pargo contested. Anderson climbing the ladder. Nice save. Murphy, fall away. Now Lisa Leslie, I think, is saying they needed to clear it.
Yes, they didn't clear it.
Moon. Good recovery to not get out of bounds.
Yeah, it's almost time for ISO Joe to come back. 4-point shot here. Nice range by Murphy. This guy scored 50 points in the college basketball game before. He knows how to put the ball in the basket.
Joe Johnson says, go one more possession, then I'll come on in. And Lisa Leslie's saying, come on, get in there.
Joe wants to go in after this next possession. Now, this is confidence in your teammates. Normally, in that situation, you have a guy, MVP, running the sprint to the scores table to get in. But Joe's like, hey, let's let him go one more time. But now, Lisa said, you don't have a choice in this matter.
It's time.
I'm the general. I'm the captain of this year.
Ooh, I like that. Is that Captain Phillips?
Yes. Hey, you're such a big move.
I tend to watch the same ones about 3 times over and over again.
Side out.
So for the three-headed monsters, you have Lewis, Murphy, and Evans. Triplets get ISO Joe in with Anderson and Moon. Murphy, indecision. Anderson over Lewis. No, but he's fouled shooting the three. We're going to get a 3-point shot. 1 shot for 3 for Alan Anderson of the Triplets.
Gary wants to challenge that one.
All right, here we go.
Now he's got to get out there at some point.
That's time to bring the fire. Bye-bye, Taco Bell.
And we also have a technical foul, look like on Reggie Evans. So they'll shoot the technical before they bring the foul.
So So first it's Anderson. This will be for 2, and then again it's going to be Anderson going one-on-one, bring the fire style. Leaves it hanging. And now we're going to bring the fire.
Yeah. And he'll have an opportunity for 3 points here. He got fouled behind the 3-point line.
All right, slot captain Richard, Louis Pino, co-captain Allen Anderson. Let's go.
Here we go. Anderson for 3 points. Lewis gets the stop. So Gary Payton brings the fire. And then you factor in the missed technical by Anderson. And they're leaving the window open here for the three-headed monsters.
Yes, that could have been a 4-point swing. But now you come up empty in that situation.
Murphy made one earlier. Another one from 4-point range for Kevin Murphy. Is this the anatomy of a comeback?
Yes, you can significantly reduce that deficit in a hurry by making 4-point shots. But it's interesting that he would be able to attempt a 4-point shot. Where's the defense in that situation? You got to really crowd Murphy. This is too much space. That's too much space.
An 8-0 run right now for the three-headed monsters. Murphy with 18. He's very close to his average of 20. Johnson backing down Lewis. Good D. 5 seconds on ISO Joe.
Very, very good call.
You rarely see it in a big three. Murphy, clear out, blow by. Too much English on it.
Murphy had an opportunity to shoot another 4-point shot. Had Jefferson on him and decided to drive.
Johnson knew it was off. ISO Joe. Arms locked. Lewis staying all over him. Anderson open. Off the mark. Evans with the rebound.
At some point, hey, we're really going to have to put some boxing gloves on. What do teams use in football? Those blocking pads? Yep. It's getting really physical.
Look out. Lisa Leslie thought Evans traveled. Goes right to the rim, stripped. ISO Joe, the thief. Look what I found. Puts it in.
Yeah, this is a game for grown men. if you're a little boy in this situation, this is not your game.
Kevin Murphy in and out. Looked like Evans tipped it out. Joe Johnson Avery with a double-double. Now with 20 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, Reggie Evans driving the ball to the basket. Didn't secure it enough. Nice pass.
Left it short. And poked out of bounds.
Excellent bounce pass by Anderson.
Timeout. In the closing moments of Game 5 in Milwaukee, the Triplets leading the three-headed monsters 44-32. But down the stretch has not been easy. This guy, reigning MVP, best player of the league, Avery. Let's see what ISO Joe has done tonight.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here. And ISO Joe, when he's in that ISO situation, it's like playing 3 against 2. And then Allen Anderson with loose ball, giving Joe Johnson a chance to get his feet set. These are just like target practice for Joe. Big 7'6" center. Couldn't come out quick enough to contest that shot. Joe is on his way to potentially winning Player of the Week again if this continues.
Joe Johnson. Big shot, Joe. Joe cool. Game-winning Joe. He's won so many games with that final shot. We're looking to see who touched this last on the out-of-bounds call.
I think it was Murphy. Is it Murphy over the back here?
At least the motion seemed to say it was.
Yeah. They're just going to depend on if they thought Joe Johnson
fast.
Pick-and-roll situation. You two, right?
Let's go over to get a coffee, cup of coffee on it.
Venti, Grande.
Because when we go out to dinner, you always buy in.
We've really evolved in that regard. Ed Cohen, Avery Johnson, John Sally with you from Milwaukee. Week 5 of the Big 3 season. Triplets undefeated, the only unbeaten remaining. Joe Johnson, pull-ups good over Lewis, gives him 22, and it brings up point game for the Triplets.
The defense in that situation, I'm screaming help.
Murphy. And we get a whistle. Had to figure out who the foul was, or who was fouled, so it's going to be Evans who gets a 2-point shot.
Now in this situation, you definitely don't want to give up any second shots on a missed free throw.
And Evans able to convert.
Yeah, he's played extremely well over the last 2 games. You know, tonight has been a little bit of an uphill challenge.
Triplets, three-headed monster, staying alive.
Murphy bumps, flips it up and in. So chance at 3. Not over just yet, and it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, Coach Gary Payton desperately need Murphy to 4-point shots, traditional 3-pointers going to the basket. And this guy, he's 4th in the Big 3 in scoring, so that's the expectation. When you set a precedent for yourself, that's what your coach is, or your coach is going to expect every week. Coach Gary Payton needs to know when he walks into the arena that Murphy's going to score 20 or more points. And then he can try to talk to other guys, motivate, you know, Reggie Evans or Rashard Lewis, or what else he needs for them to be successful.
Make it, take it. You get the free throw. Three-headed monsters retain it down by 9. Crazier things have happened. Murphy against Moon. Runners good with the left.
Man, just awesome body control.
Point
Going to his
game,
left
Triplets, a four-pointer,
hand.
seals the deal.
I just love his size. You know, he's going to get a call after this.
7-0 run for the three-headed monsters, but a foul. And Murphy, trying to stay with the screener, is called for it. So for the three-headed monsters, that's number 5. Doesn't put the Triplets in the bonus yet. ISO Joe, remember, a 4-point shot, wins it. Turns the corner, dancing, poked away by Evans. They'll confer.
Evans never gives up on the play. He always accepts the challenge. He can play in any era of basketball.
13 NBA seasons ahead of Iowa for Evans. 2 to shoot, ISO Joe nails it to beat the 14, and the Triplets are 1 point away.
Point game, let the MVP.
Joe Johnson is going to get all the credit for making that shot, but that was a heck of a screen by Jamario Moon to free him up. Cute little play.
Murphy, 4-point circle to stay alive. No, but he's fouled by Moon. Moon trying to smile it off. And 1 shot for 4 points coming up for Kevin Murphy.
Yeah, in situations like that, you want to be a plus-plus player. You did a plus, a really magnificent job freeing Joe Johnson, and then here's the negative side of it, fouling on the 4-point shot.
So Murphy from the 4-point circle from straight on. And the other 5 guys on the floor line up at the foul line. Here we go. Steps into it. Nails it. Banker. Kevin Murphy.
Yes. And then he retains the ball.
Make it, take it.
Make it, take it.
Well, there's no 6-point shot. trails of a couple of Kevin Murphy 4-point moon balls. And now Jamario Moon
All right, guys, here we go.
to put it away. Jamario Moon gets the roll. And it's a good night Moon in Milwaukee. Triplets over the three-headed monsters, 51-45. Lisa Leslie's team remains unbeaten.
Yeah, they were winning pretty at one time, and they won this game winning ugly, but an ugly win, you'll take it any day of the week.
Remember, they played Saturday at Chicago, 5-0, and the Ghost Ballers right behind them at 4-1, with 5 games down and 1 left here today in Milwaukee. So at the very least, you're going to have the Triplets in first and the Ghost Ballers right behind them in second. Last game, aliens and enemies here tonight. John Sally with ISO Joe. John.
Okay, Joe, it's kind of tough today.
Hey, we pulled it out. Allen Anderson came off the bench, gave us great minutes, knocked down shots. Man, we knew this game wasn't going to be pretty. You know, we're at the midway point. Those guys still fighting. You know it's going to be a dogfight when you play against them, man. We know it's going to be tough.
Okay, so right now you got 1 day to rest, and you're right back at it. How are you feeling about it?
That's right. Let's do it. We're going to be ready Saturday, man.
Are you going to Bahamas? I just want to know.
Yeah, we're going to Bahamas.
Good, because I got to get that on camera. Yeah, I'm always going. I ain't got to win or lose.
I'll see you there.
I'll see you there.
I'm worried about John. He's got to get to Chicago, Las Vegas, and then the Bahamas.
Yeah. I tell you what, Ed, I'm going on Michigan Avenue tomorrow to buy my swimsuit.
Enjoy. Magnificent mile. 5 games down, 1 left. The Triplets improved to 5-0 over the three-headed monsters. 1 game left on Triller and Fight.